Hey guys, MojoK here. Just wanted to talk about the upcoming banner tomorrow. As usual, on a Thursday, we're getting a fresh new banner. Not sure what else is going to be lumped in, but we do know that we're getting two new units named SHENMEI and Flamel. So let's see what the game has to say about them. They're going to be water and wind based. So the first one's going to be SHENMEI, base 5-star character, and the main job is going to be pirate, which is new for us. Although we have seen it in one of the farming levels. There's some ugly pirate dude. I forgot what his name was, but yeah, that's the first time we've had a pirate for ourselves. So that's the first job. Second job, thief. Third job, crafter. Now, there's a couple things to note right off the bat. First is that the main job is probably going to be pirate, so kind of like SHENMEI, the best jobs unlocked at job 1, which is really good. Also, on first look, the second and third jobs look really bad. I mean, these are really low-level jobs, but the reason why they're kind of important, especially Crafter, is because of their passives. Crafter especially has unusually good passives, even though the job itself is pretty bad. So we'll discuss that in a little bit, but this is another one of those 50% attack leader skills. So if you don't have a SHENMEI like myself, maybe this is going to be a nice stand-in. So we'll see if I have any better luck on this particular banner. But anyway, the recommended job is pirate, and basically a lot of the stuff that they're recommending is going to be based off of that first job. So marine, basic marine, choppy sea, performs a water physical counter. Spirit of the Sea God, which raises fire res and water res, definitely going to be important for certain levels. And then the other passive that they recommend is move +1 from the thief job. Now, I will say that we'll talk about it a little bit later, but I will say that you're going to want to use some of the crafter passives instead, unless you're really needing that extra resistance and so forth. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So she's a pirate from Greed Dyke. The Zhao SHENMEI. Okay, so she's a cheerful girl as always. Looks pretty cute, and we'll talk about the pirate job in just a little bit. The second one's gonna be Flamel, and this is a very unusual unit in my opinion. Wind-based character, and guess which gender this is? This is gonna be another guy with a gender neutral ambiguous name. So I'm hoping that I'm not gonna butcher this as I did with Reagan 100 times before. But the reason why I say this is such a weird character, such a weird hero, is because the jobs just seem all unrelated. Like, it's almost like they're trying to make him a jack of all trades, but none of them are really stand out. So this is another base 5-star unit, but the leader skill is only 30% for wind units, which kind of gives you an indication that this is definitely a less desirable unit than SHENMEI is. But the first job is mage, second job is magic swordsman, Beast Tamer is the third job, so very strange. The recommended setup is going to be Beast Tamer, Beast Mastery, basic Beast Mastery, Defensive Instinct, which is again a Beast Master thing, Feral Kid, another Beast Master thing, Beast Tamer, I'm sorry. And the second passive is of course Divine Shelter, because that's like one of the most OP passives in the game. So it looks like you're basically just building them to be a very durable Beast Tamer, but there's really nothing else special about them. Now, if you were to try to use the mage job, you would be stuck with only 2 move, which is really bad, and there's really nothing to speed up casting time or anything like that. Magic swordsman wise, I mean, we have plenty of magic swordsmen in the game already, so I guess that having a wind one would be a little bit situationally useful. But you can't really blend any of these. Like, mages don't have good attacks, so you can't really use Beast Tamer abilities or whatever. Magic swordsman has mediocre magic, like 240-ish, so you can't really use basic magic or spellcasting as a sub. Same with Beast Tamer. Beast Tamer, you can't really use anything magic based as a sub because Beast Tamers have very low magic. So it's just like all of the classes are kind of unrelated, so I don't quite understand this class. But yeah, other than just being kind of a durable, tanky wind Beast Tamer, I don't really get it. So let's go into the more specific details on the wiki here. Maybe I'll just stay with the wide here. Okay, so SHENMEI, as we said, is the water pirate. I'm not really going to go into stats or anything like that because it's just kind of like doesn't really mean much for most people unless you have all the stats memorized in your head. So again, the leader skill is very good, on par with Shayna. The available jobs are pirate, thief, and crafter. We're gonna look at the pirate job first because that's what's brand new to us. All right, so the main abilities are Skull Slash, which is a dark element physical damage ability, which is strange. Has one range but height of 2, so that could be situationally useful if somebody's kind of standing above you. And it doesn't say weak, so it seems like it's going to be an upgrade over the regular attack, unless there's like some kind of dark resistance. Pirate Song, this is kind of cool. Raises physical attack and magic attack around yourself in a cross shape, so that's a nice support ability. Anchor Cast is kind of like the go-to, in my opinion. It's going to inflict water physical damage, and it has 5 range, which is really huge, and a height range of 2, so this is going to be very useful. And then Maelstrom, which inflicts water physical damage on units within a target area. It doesn't really specify the scope here, but I'm assuming that this is AoE because I'm pretty sure I saw that pirate dude cast this and it was an AoE ability. So correct me if I'm wrong. I don't know why the scope is left out here. And then basic abilities. Mad Sea Song recovers HP medium of units within target area and inflicts rage. This is kind of situational. It would have been a really nice support ability to have, but the fact that it inflicts rage, obviously that makes your units uncontrollable and they don't use abilities. They just go and attack physically. So like I said, unless you're kind of desperate, I don't really see much use for this. Physical Wave inflicts water physical damage, chance of lowering units attack and defense, which is good. That's a nice like all-purpose kind of attack. Psycho Wave, which has the chance of, it's the same thing, but it lowers their magic attack and magic defense instead of physical. And Bombard inflicts physical damage on units within target area. This one does specify the AoE. It's a 3x3 cross. My guess is that this is a weaker version of Maelstrom. So I don't know if the details are just left out. Maybe they're incorrect here, but my guess is that Bombard is kind of like Maelstrom, but a weaker version. And then, of course, the passives raises fire res and water res. This will be useful because you're already going to be naturally resistant to fire, so I don't know how useful that is. But with water res, I mean, that's typically a neutral thing, so this will make her pretty tanky in, specific levels. And then rank 6, you get Choppy Sea, which performs a water. This is water magic counter, but I believe it's supposed to be water physical counter, as it says in the game. So, and it has a range of 1 and height range of 2. So the height range 2 is going to be pretty important in some cases. So all in all, pretty solid class, has a nice variety of stuff. But I do want to point out the crafter job and why this is important. You're not really going to be using any of the abilities here, but what you're concerned with is going to be the passive. So I'm not really sure if you'd want to raise your dex as a passive, but composite armor is going to be a nice reactive ability. If you don't want to necessarily counter with a water attack, like let's say you're up against thunder enemies or something. I don't know why you would use SHENMEI in a thunder level, but if you just wanted to make her more survivable instead of focusing so much on water damage, that could be a nice option for you. And then booster +1 is always useful because it gives her a lot more agility. So there are going to be some cases where you'd rather take these over the other recommended passives, but all in all, this is a very usable hero, even from job 1, just like Shayna was. So, and then let's go into Flamel. So this one is the weird one. 30% leader skill, not bad, but not on the level of some of the new units that we have. Master skill raises missile attack and max HP. I don't know how you would unlock that, but again, none of these are related. I don't really need to go into too much detail because these are all jobs that we're familiar with, but I don't know. I kind of agree with their recommended setup, but that means that you need to unlock the 3rd job, Beast Tamer. Otherwise, I mean, I wouldn't want to use him as a mage. I would consider using him as a magic swordsman because Magic Swordsman is such a good, solid job, and it's kind of like a standalone where you don't really need so much support from passives and things like that from other jobs. So I would use him as a magic swordsman if I got him, if I wanted to use him at all. But I don't know, kind of an underwhelming character for me. I don't really see the appeal other than the fact that he might look unique and cool. So anyway, that's my run through of the new upcoming units. Depending on what else they bundle with the banner, I might just do like 1 or 2 pulls. I'm not gonna like spend as much as I normally would, because I would like to have SHENMEI, but I don't think that either of these characters are must-haves. Well, I might go a little bit harder for SHENMEI because I don't have Shayna, and I really want that water skill, the leadership skill. So we'll see about that. But all in all, if you are a free-to-play player, or you're kind of like, trying to save up those gems for a better banner, this is a skippable one in my opinion, especially if you have Shayna already. So, take everything I say with a grain of salt. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments, but yeah, I mean, very interesting, but kind of up and down for me. So if I get one SHENMEI, I'll be happy with that. So anyway, that's my rundown. Take care, guys, and I'll probably come with a pull video tomorrow. So yeah, see ya.